this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. Who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. Yeah. You ain't seen me activated.
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode. My name is TradeFly, bringing some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use. That being said, Bitcoin did have a little bit of a dumpsy-do over the weekend, but we have gotten a nice little bounce here. We were at a high volume node. That is where we found some support. I put that in the Discord there. I was like, we're here time now. If we do continue down, there is some support below, but it looks like it's trying to hold, but we are running straight back into the value area low. We're gonna look at that when we get on the charts. We'll break it down a little bit more, but first things first, I gotta say what's up to all the homies in the chat, because you know it's time to show y'all some love. Hopefully everyone is doing good. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend. Let's see what we got here. Let me get rid of all this stuff. It is in my way. We got my man, Infinite Team TA in the house. What up to you? We got all set in here. We got Rashad. How you doing, bro? Good to see you in the chat. And of course, we got Wick's wife in the chat. She's gonna hold it down as the mod today because the mod queen herself, Alexandra G, is off taking care of business. And as you can see, yes, this is actually a real picture behind me. That is Mikasa. That is Mikasa. That is for realsies. Still using a green screen, but that is the downstairs. Unfortunately, can't bring it upstairs with me, and I can't go back downstairs to do this. But that being said, let's go ahead and get this cracking. What up, Nathan? Good to see you in the chat as well. Out of gang, my dude. All right, let me get rid of this. I got a crazy echo. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and look at Watcher Guru, see what we got going on here. I actually didn't even get a chance to really scroll that. So it looks like Trump's going to be interviewing Fed Governor Christopher Waller for the Federal Reserve chair. Not too worried about that Starlink advertisement. Michael Saylor says quantum computing won't break Bitcoin, but it will harden it. Man, I've been hearing more and more about this quantum computing. Some people are actually doing something called quant trading, which is very intriguing. Another thing that I was reading about this weekend, and it doesn't really have as much impact on crypto itself, but they're talking about potentially banning DJI drones. So I know most of you have probably heard of DJI. It is probably the biggest like personal, like small commercial drone in the space in the US. And they're talking about, I guess if they don't do some kind of inspection, from what I was reading, there could be a temporary or there could be a ban on DJI drones, which is crazy to think about because those things are everywhere. But I mean, it does happen. It does happen. All right. What else was I looking at this weekend? Oh, they was talking about Michael Saylor. They're kind of breaking down strategy and the way that they're buying. Like it seems like they're buying like peaks every time. It almost like never fails. And what they were talking about when they were kind of breaking it down, and they were like, well, strategy may actually be driving the price up on themselves, and then whales are using them as exit liquidity. Let that sink in. So could they be like essentially setting themselves up, right? They have these big purchases, drives price up, and then whales are like, all right, cool, thanks, man. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take the profit here, and we'll just wait for you to buy again. Could be setting themselves up, man. It's interesting take for sure. Let's look at the crypto bubbles here. CAS is up 5.6%, XMR up 7%, MYX up 5.9%. Let's see. That's about it. I mean, nothing too crazy in terms of movers today. Meme Core is down 7.2%, Pump's down 8.2%, Aster down 8.3%, Ultimate down 5.7%. But I mean, honestly, nothing too crazy. It's pretty status quo out there. Plus or minuses 1-2 seems to be the average. Let's go over to the total market cap. That's sitting at 2.97 trillion, so we're under that magical 3 trillion mark. Fear and Greed Index is at 22, which is fear. I think over the weekend, it was an extreme fear. Altcoin season, no. Bitcoin dominance, though. Bitcoin dominance, I believe, is up from the last time we actually looked at it, 58.8%. Let's look at Bitcoin itself, 87,581. That's up 1.66%. Ethereum is at 2947.25% in the positive there. So that does make sense. If Bitcoin dominance is up, you do not see as much of a move for the altcoins. We could be playing that game again. All right, let's go over to the next segment. That is going to be one of your favorites. That is the Daily Degen. Let's get it going. And over to 2Bit. Let me just give them a little shill real quick. Remember, you can save 20% on both your spot and futures trading by using code TFSAVE20. You guys should check it out. All right, back over. We're going to be doing the Daily DJ here. The way this works is I give you guys the opportunity to vote whether we go long or short. Looks like you guys are 75% doom right now. And you know what? Probably not a bad play in the interim. I don't know if it's going to play out in 45 minutes, but not a bad play because we are hitting a little bit of resistance here. And we can talk a little bit about that when we get to the charts. But it looks like you guys, again, are 69% now. 69% doom, 31% moon with 13 votes. So we're gonna go for it. All right, we're going for it. Let's go here. You guys know we like to have a little bit of fun here. 20x. We need a little bit more leverage. because we're DJing. We're DJing. We're not DJing hard, honestly. We put $5 on it. It ain't nothing biggie. It's more for a little bit of engagement with the audience here. So we got 5 on it, and you know we got to play the song. We got 5 on it. All right, so we're gonna go short. It looks like that's the consensus. We don't need any price protection on a $5 short, but we are in there. It is filled. Let it rip. Let's go. All right, over back to the chat. I got some homies. Jumping in right now. Let's go. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Hal Jr. You know we got to do this. I always got to screen it though first. I got to screen it. About to roll. About to grind. About to roll that little B. Hey, look. See, he broke it up. I like that. Up because it's a mother effing time to TradeFly. LFG. Dump it. Dump it. He loves saying dump it. Man, come on. Be easy, man. People like some money. All right. Well, I guess you can trade it both ways. Jesse Gluck in the house. What up, man? Good to see you, bro. Hope all is well with you. Scrolling down a little bit more. We got my dude, Harp, sending out some TradeFly gift memberships. Let's go. So Harp, somehow, some way, I have never seen this. He gifted himself a membership. I didn't even know that's possible. That ain't real. All good though, but he got one. That's hilarious. Future Whaler got one. Jack Dorton 1-1. HRJ trading, my man. One Way got one. That is awesome. Thank you, Harp. I appreciate you, bro. Much love to you, man. It is all love. LFG. Let's go. All right. I'm obsessed with shorts. Blame Frankie. Like shorts? Or like YouTube shorts? You have to tell me. You have to tell me what you're talking about there. All right, out of gang. Andrew Cameron, what up? GM dude himself. All right, so we got that in there. Let's go ahead and go over to the economic calendar because that can move the markets. Why did we dump over the weekend? Well, or not over the weekend, I guess over yesterday. I'm thinking people had some inside scoop that the job numbers were poop. Absolute poop, man. Non-farm payrolls was down 105K. Forecast was 55K in the positive. We were down 105K. That is yikes. Unemployment rate 4.6, consensus of 4.4. So that is also no bueno. Not looking good. You do not want to see poo-poo inflation numbers on the backside of that, and that is coming down Thursday. So be on the lookout. This could get worse. It could get worse if inflation is going up, man. That's just a recipe for disaster. You get bad employment numbers, inflation is going up. No bueno, no bueno. We'll see how it plays out though, but just be ready. Be ready. That's what I'll say. If you are in some trades, make sure you are protecting yourself. Let's go over to the heat map, and as you can see, the hotness is to the top side. We're sitting at about 90K is where your hot spot on the map is. That was right here. Now it looked just like this. I know it doesn't look like it now because liquidity comes in as it heats up over here. This kind of cools down, but this was hot AF. I think it was just a couple days ago. All right, before we cleared out all that liquidity. And then we came down, like I said, to a high volume area node, and we got a nice little bounce out of that area. Not something I took as a trade. I wasn't super, there was not a lot of confluence in that area, to be honest, for me to jump in anything. But we did take the liquidity off the table. It's kind of like a magnet sometimes. Not the way I trade it, understand that, but here nor there, it went and took that liquidity. Now, you can see the trend is very clearly a set of higher lows, higher highs, and it's trending its way back on up towards 90. So if we do break and get back into the value area low, which we'll look at here on the charts, let's go ahead and bring that up. So value area low is right here at about where we're at. Right where we're at. All right, so if we break that, it's almost a given. We come up to the weekly pivot, 90K, still got that trend line intact. I think we're going to go ahead and take that liquidity, right? So, but that could set us up. That could definitely set us up for an opportunity here, knowing that we have this ascending level of resistance, we have the weekly pivot, and we have the liquidity. What are we looking for? You guys know the name of the game. It should look a little bit like this one right here. All right, you see that first one where you get that nice wick. All right, and then that's what we'll look for up here. Okay, so we'll see that buying or correction, that selling pressure coming in. And then that could be an opportunity, right? You get that bearish structure off the weekly pivot, and then you would probably take that right back down to the value area low. Now, is that going to be worth it? Is the juice going to be worth the squeeze on that? It's really going to have a lot to do with how high that wick goes to take that liquidity, but it really doesn't have to go high at all because it is right at the weekly pivot. So that might actually mean, like, realistically, you'll be a little delayed getting into it, right? Because you won't have that wick that pushes up past the weekly pivot potentially. You know, this is you got to kind of game plan these things as price goes to certain levels, and you're using things as confluence, right? So it may not actually break the weekly pivot. You could just get a wick off of it. Does that give you enough opportunity to get into a position? Maybe. Is it worth it? Let's see that. Back down the value area low is 2.48%, and then it has a lot to do with kind of where your wick is. I think you could get a 2-to-1 out of that easy. You really could get a 2-to-1 out of that. And that would kind of keep the structure of the move, right? The overall trend. It's kind of already shown you. This has been in play. We've been talking about this for quite some time. Series of lower highs, series of lower lows. I mean, we've seen consolidation before. So don't think that, oh, we're out of the woods. Because look at this. I want you to look. 1, 2, 3. Right here. 1, 2, 3. Now, this is a little tiny bit better just because of this one's a little bit higher than that one. But honestly, it's consolidating, right? And that's what's happening. So we are getting to a pivotal area, I'd say, in terms of getting a little bit of, you know, I won't say confirmation, but a little bit of understanding of which direction we need to be headed next. And, you know, once we break some of these key levels here, especially, you know, getting over the value area high, the monthly pivot, getting outside of the trend here, then we can start thinking about higher, right? We can start thinking about higher if we start seeing those kind of things. What am I talking about there? You got your value area high at about 93.7. You got your monthly pivot rate at about 94, right? So if you want to break out, right, you'll probably see a little bit of rejection off of that area, come down, and then we're hoping for that. That's what we hope for. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but that's what we're hoping for. Come on up to that monthly pivot, get a rejection, come down, retest, and then up, and away we go to an area we know we have a lot of resistance, a lot of confluence up there. In terms of resistance between the median of the channel, you got a horizontal. There's just a lot. You got a psychological area of 100. There's a lot lining up in this area to say, hey, you'll probably get a rejection out of there. So that would be a move that I'd be looking for. But hey, if you ride it up, I wouldn't ride it past that. I'd wait for it to break before you get back in. So that's something you can keep an eye on. That's a little bit more, you know, zoomed out perspective. But in the near term, this could be an opportunity right here. And that is at about 90K. All right, so you do have some liquidity in that area. Make a lot of sense to see a little rejection out of there. If you do see it, then hey, might be something you can jump on. Giving you the sauce, giving you all the sauce. There it is. See, Harp knows. Throw the ribs in the chat because you're getting the sauce. You're getting it, and you can't have ribs without the sauce, baby. I need more cowbell. I need cowbell, baby. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, looking for a potential, you could get a potential short right there. And then if we come all the way back down, obviously you'll be looking for some support here. It's kind of the bottom of our channel. You got your yearly pivot and where we had a bounce previously. So bounce previously, what does that mean? You're going to have some liquidity down here, right? Because people entered into the market, they have stop losses, they have leveraged long positions, come back down, take that liquidity, and then bounce back into the range. If you bounce back into the range, that opens you up for a significant long position in my mind. All right, pretty nice little. It's more than an intraday. You're gonna hold that, I'd say, probably for a couple days. Work your way back up to the lows of the range. At least here at about 85, even better so, probably up to the value area low. So something for you to keep an eye on as well is down in this area. So what would something like that look like? Kind of draw you a little bit of. There you go. Something where it comes down and then goes back up and retest that area there. Conservative, you'll get out here or TP. All right. So just think it through. Do you want a TP here? Or at minimum, once you reach this area, you take your stop loss, you move it above, lock in your not your profits, but your fees and all that good stuff, and play on house money. Again, you gotta wait though. You gotta see, you know, some of that bullish structure. You got to see that buying pressure comes in. You know, there's a couple things that you want to validate before jumping into something like that. But, you know, if it just dumps through, you get an impulse candle to the downside, something that looks like this right here. This candle, let's go ahead and let me just move this over. Right click. There you go. If you get something that looks like that, see this big red candle right there that pushes through, then don't take that. That's not something you want to jump on, okay? That is more likely for a continuation to the downside. And so that's the kind of things that you have to look for. So this is a beautiful point right here. You got the value area low. All right, you see how it pushed through that value area low? It's more likely to come up and retest that level, right? And then, at that point, I would say the probability, even though it didn't do it on this one, the probability is that you actually see continuation. If it comes up and retests this area and actually rejects, so this is what you got here. You came up, you retested the area, and then if you see that rejection, then you're going to see the continuation. In this case, it did not. You got an impulse candle back to the upside, creating this like basically gap right there. But this is what you want to look for, these kind of things here, and that'll help you with making a decision on whether you want to take some of these trades or not. Again, sauce. All right, so let's get rid of all that. Oh, that's not what I wanted to get rid of. There we go. Cool. So yeah, right now I'd say is a pretty key level to be at. I'm guessing are we getting a little rejection here? Yeah, there it is. I was about to say you should be positive right now, up 4%. You know what? We didn't do any risky management, as JR says all the time. Whew. Get ourselves in trouble that way, huh? Let's go ahead and put a little stop loss on there. One thing I'm working on is trying to get the line here for 2-bit so that it's really simple to just drag and drop. So they did submit that to the devs. Hopefully they will actually incorporate that. That would be super cool. All right. So what I did find out is, the simple things to do is you just throw on a take profit. Like, let's just do 5%. What's that put you at? 87.2. Let me do it a little bit further away. Do 10 and 10. Cool. Got it. Enable. All right. So now you can drag it. That's the shortcut that I figured out. That's the best way I know how. I'm going to put it right above that peak right there. And then I say if it comes down to the VWAP, we'll take that. It's not going to be a big win, but that's real life stuff. Coming down to the VWAP, look, it's just bouncing off the VWAP. Why not just take that dub? So that's what we shall do. All right, scrolling down a little bit here. Want to go back, but I don't see a bar. Let's try this. There you go. Cool. So we got that set up. We got a TP and a stop loss set. Let's now keep it going. How you doing? Keep it moving. Let's go check out the USDT dominance. Never looked at that in a while. We did come back up and retest that horizontal area that's just been very, very prominent over probably about a month now. So we worked all the way back up, man. That's what you want to see. You want to see a rejection out of that area, and look, a series of lower highs. That's good news because that opens up the door in my mind, right? If you get a rejection out of here and you see some downside pressure out of that for USDT dominance, just understand the inverse relationship. You are at a high volume area node, but you would like to see it kind of break through, and then you're going to work your way down here, and that'll be your next level where you'll probably find some support for USDT dominance. But that break, if we get a break, that opens up the door for some upside pressure for Bitcoin. And, we kind of already talked about this area, this 90K area being pretty important, right? So pushing back up, get the liquidity, makes the exchanges happy, makes us unhappy because people get liquidated. And then you go down to a level for USDT dominance that makes a lot of sense in my mind to see some support, right? Come on back down to about right here. See where the high volume area node, you can see where there's both support and resistance in that level. See the resistance, see the support. boom, boom, impulse moves through. That's always important. You see support, you see resistance. Again, I like this area a lot in terms of if we were to come down here, I think that you're going to find support for USDT dominance, and that can help you with a bias when taking a trade as well, right? So if you're looking for a short, you would be looking for a bounce out of here, right? If you're in a position right now, in a long position, and you're looking for an area to close it, which could be at about 90K for Bitcoin, it could correlate. This could line up, it may not, but just a way to add some confluence between the charts. If it does come down to this area here at about, 6.12, 6.13 or so, that's a key level, I think, in terms of seeing a reaction and then bouncing it off, the current price action to see what it's doing. Let's look at the total market cap, see if that is aligning at all. Yeah, you're still flirting with this horizontal level. I mean, this has been pretty key. Look, see, this is what I'm talking. I want you to pay attention to this. You see how you have this gap in the volume? This is what I'm talking about. This is what can look. Look, I mean, this is beautiful point right here. Look at how quick it moved. Look at how quick it moved. Look at how quick it moved. 3 times you've seen these, impulsive moves through this gap. And that's why you see that difference in the VPVR, right? So you have volume here, more volume, and then more volume here. And this is what happens. You get these quick moves through the areas, and then you find a little bit of support there based on, hey, you got some previous volume in that area, right? So, buying pressure jumped in. You come down to the Prime Oscillator Pro Plus. You can see the True 7 here. You got True 7 Flash, all right? That's usually a good sign. And then this right here, you can see the money flow starting to work its way up. I'll have to call him back. You see the money flow working its way up. So that's a good sign. There's hope. There's a little bit of hope. But I mean, 3 trillion psychological area. I mean, it's really a little bit higher, probably about 3.04 is really the area you're going to have to bust through with any confidence to feel a little bit better about this situation right now. So that's for the total market cap itself. Ethereum is kind of lagging a little bit right now. I mean, it did have a nice push up to 34 to 35. We had talked about that last week. 28 to 29 was the area though that, we really liked. All right. We've been talking about that for quite some time on the channel. Coming back left here just to kind of see, like, have we seen any similar looking movements here? I mean, that's the first time that really, like, it fell through the area and it actually, like, went back, right? Like, look, I'm just trying to look to see if you saw anything like that before, and not really, right? Like, it just bounced right out of the area, then it was just resistance, and then got above, stayed above, right? And then when it did fall under, it stayed under. So this is definitely, something a little bit different. I think it's more, clearing out some liquidity coming down in this area personally, playing games, but here nor there. It looks like, if I was a guessing man, getting those series of higher lows here, I'd say probability is that it would want to stay above this area and maybe consolidate within here. All right, so somewhere between 28 to 29 up to about 31 to 32 would make some sense in my mind. Again, True 7 Flash here. That's looking good, but money flow is not looking good. That is a significant difference between total market cap and Ethereum right now. Money flow is very much trending down currently. So not ideal, not ideal. I mean, you're not getting a strong move or reaction out of this either. It's flatlining. Flatlining is not great. Got a lot of volume though. Got a lot of volume. Interesting. Definitely interesting here. Let me see. Let's zoom out a little bit. Yeah. See that? You had some volume, little gap there, just boop. Overall, I mean, you got a little trend. I'd say the one kind of hang up for me is the looking at the money flow on the 4 hour. Let's see what it's doing on the lower. Let's look at the hourly. See if it's bending up a little bit. Not really. It's flatlining just like the price action. 15 minute? Maybe. All right, just there's a little uptrend in there. A little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that's just straight up just ranging, consolidating right here. But I guess the hope would be that you're getting some absorption, right? Buyers stepping in, not letting them drive the price down anymore, and they're just soaking it up, soaking it up, soaking it up. I have to pull up CVD, see what that's. Let me see. Let's pull up CVD. Okay, CVD is starting to work its way up. So that would be a good sign on the 15-minute. Let's see what the hourly tells us. Oh, also working up. If it sets a new high, that would be good actually. So right now you're pushing up. You want to see it set a new high. All right. Got this horizontal right there. You want to get above that, right? Set a new high. That would be ideal. All right, let's look at. Haven't looked at Apple in a minute. See what you're doing. Not surprised to see a rejection out of that. I mean, look at. We've been looking. Dude, it's uncanny how well. Look at this. This trend has been intact for. Good lord. March of 2020. Let that sink in. March of 2020. Look at this. Wild. These are some levels we were looking at right here. A minute ago, that 200 level. You know I'm a big fan of taking the top of the range, right? Little double top action. Top of the range, came down, retested, off and away. And I think, if I remember correctly, that was somewhere around like the 0.5 or so when it came down to retest. Why do we have the pivots on right now? Let me get that off of there. But anyways, yeah, it's just staying in there. I'll tell you what, if it comes down here again, comes down to this, I mean, you might think about taking a position, honestly. So on Apple, let's get rid of the CVD here. It looks crazy. If it comes down to, man, you got a nice little high volume area here, top of the range, that would probably make a lot of sense. Right around 230 to 235 for Apple might be a nice spot to scoop some up. See what you guys got going on in the chat here. Jump back over. Crypto Squid, what up, dude? Good to see you in the chat, man. DDT, my man. I'm late. It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry. Don't worry. Thank you for being here, brother. Appreciate you. There you go. I see the ribs are flowing. The sauce. The sauce, man. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we keep the ribs? Do we keep the ribs or do we add a sauce? Find a good sauce emoji. I feel like I know we had the rib chat going on. It did flow over to Piper Academy a little bit though. Somehow, some way. You degens took it over there. And now there's ribs over there. I feel like I need my own thing. Even though you guys created it under the Crypto Nightcap. I guess the Crypto Nightcap was under Piper Academy. So therefore, technically, I guess he owns it. I'm thinking about changing it to sauce, bro. I think I'm going to. Rib chat for life. I know, dude. I know. I mean, I get it. But it's at Piper Academy, man. I gotta have my own thing. What are you talking about, Holmes? What? Having sauce? Like a sauce emoji. Because I say giving you the sauce. It's like a catch thing. And then I'll have an emoji that you guys can drop little sauce emojis. That's what I'm talking about. What are you talking about? All right. Here we go. Here we go. Let's look at coin real quick. We haven't looked at that in a hot minute. Coming down to the golden pocket. Let me make sure that that still aligns. Yeah, it does, man. Coin down at the golden pocket. Lost a pretty clear level of support there. Nice horizontal with the 0.5. You got a nice bounce out of the golden pocket. It's coming down kind of for a retest right now. But look at this, man. You got a double, triple flash of the true 7. And you got a high volume area node working its way in. Man, that might be something interesting. That might be something for coin. Take it up to the 0.5 and actually retest that level. that nice horizontal there at about we'll call it about 300. Nice psychological area. I'd front run that a little bit for sure. 293. But from about where you're at 255 to 293 is a pretty plausible move, I'd say. I don't like the, the current trajectory, because that is aggressive. Let me see, what is their... They got an earnings report there in March. Let's see what this says. From Delaware to Texas, adopting Texas laws. Man, Texas is becoming the home of crypto, huh? They launched regulated futures. Yep, they changed the prices, by the way. So they're out of beta now, my understanding. I haven't checked it, like verified, but I got an email saying they're out of beta, so the prices went up. Not as good a deal anymore for Coinbase. Shares dropped over 6% amid a wider crypto sell-off. Okay, so it's based on the sell-off itself. Down more than 30%. Yep, we know. We talk about it every day. So really, it's just based on the sell-off itself. That's not that bad. Let's see what the earnings look like. Let's see. Surprise, surprise. So they did better than expected. Okay. Cool. So I mean, that's good. That's good for Coinbase. At least, I mean, I'm making an assumption that they're somewhat of a healthy company. Gold, good God. Man, you got that breakout of here and just never looked back, huh? Well, gold through the roof, 43.09. Holy moly. This is unreal. Let's go to the weekly. Dang. That's crazy. I mean, there ain't no TA I'm doing on that. MicroStrategies, they've been talking about that quite a bit recently. Or strategy. You're still hanging out there though, right around the golden pocket. Yeah, so we talked about this already. If you get a little breakout retest to the 618 about 183, get over the value of the previous range here, value area high, that could be an opportunity there. Start getting into the gap here with the volume. Could be a nice push up, pretty easy push up to 235. But I would say wait for the breakout retest, right? Wait for that to happen if you're looking at potentially taking a position. Did Bitcoin fall or did it go up? Nothing. Nada. You guys are about even. You're down about 1.33% on the daily degen right now. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, I'd wait for that breakout retest. I mean, that could be a nice little trade though for strategy. Let's pull a box up real quick. Oh man, I did the fibs. Stupid. Let me move this over. There we go. Bottom of the range there. That's a 26% move. Let's take it to the bottom of the wick there. I don't know if you're gonna be able to put your stop loss there. Probably have to rest on the closes there at about. I mean, that's 10%. So this would be a straight, just a straight no leverage play, right? I mean, it's a little bit different anyways when you're trading stocks. So I mean, you're risking 10% to the downside there for a 26% move to the upside. And again, I would just look for that breakout retest. True 7 flash there on the weekly. I don't look at the weekly all that often. Let's look at the daily. See what that's telling us. I know that the news right now for strategy is not the best. I want to say that he is actually, I think strategy is upside down in their Bitcoin investment right now. Not that it's like a end all be all thing, but I think they're upside down. when it comes down to it. They should just let me tell them when to buy. That'd be cool. All right, Nvidia, no big changes there, right? You got the top of the range here if we do come down. Again, I mean, you got a nice bounce or a level of support here, horizontal level, that it's got to make it through first. So, but if we do come down, I think that's a nice opportunity. Gives you a 6.8% move to the upside, risking about 3.14%. So it's about a 2 to 1. And you would just be looking for a bounce out of that zone at about 152. You are getting under this volume right now. So yeah, I would look for at least that bounce out of off this horizontal. That's at 165. But kind of up to you guys if you want to take a play on that. I mean, there's some potential there. You take this up. Let me take that out of the way. And we'll throw another box on there. Let's just say from horizontal to bottom of there. You're gonna have to keep that tight. I mean, that's not bad. You could probably even expand that just to give yourself a little bit of breathing room, but I mean, that's a 5 to 1. Assuming the wick plays nice. 6.73% to the bottom there. Let's see here. Take it a little bit lower. Yeah. Might not be bad. Let's look at Tesla. Haven't looked at that. Ooh. To the moon. Yep. No plays on Tesla right now. I mean, that's just up and away. $490. That's crazy. Had opportunities, folks. We had opportunities. Down here. Now, we wait. Nothing on Tesla I would take right now. Cardano looking like poopa doobies. Shoop shooba doobie poop poopa doobie. Goodness gracious. Come on down to the buy zone. Is Cardano dead? Let's end this poll. You guys are still voting, you crazy people. End poll. New poll. Is Cardano KIA. That means killed in action in the military. Poof. To the moon. See what y'all got to say about that. Man, it looks ugly though. Told you I should have hedged. Told you I should have took a short here. Remember I was talking about that last week. For Cardano and AVAX. AVAX looks like poop too. Look at that. Series of lower highs. Right out of that buy zone. I should have hedged that one too. Killing myself, Smalls. It's like I know what to do and I don't do it sometimes. Anyways. You guys see what I'm doing there. Just ladder it in. I'll take a position here, take a position there, bring my call spaces to the middle. No biggie. So that's, I mean, when it comes down to it, you know, that's kind of part of the game, like, and have a plan, right? Like, and I'm not aping in, so I'm not like super upside down. It's all good. You know, I'll take a G here, take a G here. I'm in for it for 2G, and that's it. You know, if it goes to 0, that's it. Poof. See what Cass is doing. That's up 5% today. That's gone kind of horizontal, working its way out. We did a little TA on that last week as well. Working its way. If it breaks out of the trend, looks some upside potential to the 0.66 there at about 0.07. About 7 cents. Pretty realistic from 5. That's not bad. That'd be a nice little move. 28%. That's a spot. That's a spot buy. You don't even have to put leverage on that. Take a spot position on that, try to ride it up, and then that gives you a lot more leeway when you're talking about, you know, putting your stop loss there to the downside. Let's look at Link. There you go, Link. It's trying. It's trying. Looks better than Cardano and AVAX, right? Much better. It is riding this trend. It is riding this trend, but we're here testing it again. That almost rhymed, kind of. Ribs are better. I guess the people. Sauce is Frankie's term. Oh, excuse the F out of me. I didn't know we all claimed it. All right, I'll find another one. Ribs it is, for now. For now. Don't listen to Harp, he drinks weed whacker gas. Oh god. Now, if only you guys could spell gas right, you know, that's the important part there. Jesse just jumps on. English isn't his first language. He's like, yeah, GASS, baby. If it ain't ass, it's gas. All right, got it. Let's see here. Let's look at Soul. We gotta look at Soul. I got something for that. Here we are. Here we are. TradeFly's notorious buy zone on Soul. I don't know how many times it's gonna work though. Man, it's like drinking coffee. It's like I got like cotton mouth almost. Down in the buy zone here. I don't know. But you did get a true 7 flash. Got a nice little true 7 flash. But that's gotta hold, because look, it's got, if it don't hold, look at this. This is not gonna be pretty. That is not gonna be pretty. Look at that. You'd be all the way down here. Not a bad spot though. If it does. But that gets scary for sure. I mean, so this was the play for Soul. Buy here, sell here. You got a couple opportunities at that. I mean, you guys, I don't think I'm gonna try, but you know, it's possible to bounce out of here again. I'm not a huge fan of getting this third retest of the area, to be honest with you. This one you'd have to put a tight stop on it. Below that wick, if you're looking to play it back up to this horizontal again. Overall, I mean, it's consolidating. First little bit here of I mean, it gives you a little hope each time. It comes down, you start getting that ascending level of support there. Dump. Ascending level of support. Dump. This one's going straight horizontal, and I really think it has a lot to do with just coming back up on the chart and seeing the historical price action of Solana. It loves to bounce out of this area. So again, you could potentially take a flyer on it, but I'm not personally, not at this point. Whoops, don't want to do that. Wonder what that looks like on Market Monkey. Let's pull that up. Sorry, once I got here, I just started looking at the chart. I just wanted to see what it looked like for Bitcoin. CBD poops the doobies again. Open interest. I mean, it's kind of trending. This is kind of a harsh fall there, but I mean, for the most part, if you're looking at the trend is kind of working its way up very gradually. You got big ask going on at what, 87,950. That's pretty close. Oh, 2.37. So that's a 88.2. That's something to pay attention to. 88.2. Sorry, I'm straying off here, but you go to Market Monkey Terminal, man, you see some stuff of interest right there. That's a biggie. Usually, those ones don't usually get spoofed. Now, you might see that break up a little bit, probably not too much, but you see, you know, somewhere around 400, 500, you'll see those kind of like pop up and go away, but 2.37, that is not likely something that you're going to see go away. So that's sitting right there. 88.2. Hold up. Sorry, we'll get back to Solana if we do. I don't even care. Let me get Bitcoin here. 88.2. This is of more interest to me. I'm just gonna move that to 88.2. Yeah, right there above where you got rejected. Just coming back left a little bit. So that's, I mean, right above the value area low. I thought liquidity that's by the pivot. It's not by the low. That's no bueno. On the real for reals. You got the value area low, and then you got a big order on the books. Interesting. With CBD working its way down. The open interest isn't going to tell you much in terms of, you know, getting up here. Did that just go away? Gone. Just like that. They took it off. What? They moved it down here. Someone's playing games. That's wild. That's a lot to be shuffling around. So they just flip a long bias? Let's go down to 15 minute. You don't usually see 2K Bitcoin just get moved from one side to the other. Where's that at? So now he went from 88.2 to 87.2. It's right there. All right, CBD working its way up. Open interest kind of flatlining. I feel like they're gonna drive the price towards that order. And that's probably good for the DGen, yeah? Yeah, you guys are coming back down. Oof. Almost got stopped. Look how close that was. So what are you kind of looking at here with the CBD, right? If you want it to go up, You would like to see CBD kind of set another higher high. See a little spike in open interest, right? If you see that, then that means people are opening up orders. But the CBD, like, you want to see that positive, you want to see it go up. If you want to see it go down and you want to see it take this order right here, then you want to see a continuation of this trend right here. But it looks like it's going horizontal right now. Look at the 5 minute real quick. So I mean, price action and CBD have kind of been in unison, while open interest is working its way down. But we know liquidity's to the top side as well. That's interesting. I don't know that, maybe it won't be much of a magnet, to be honest. My guess would be, though, if you see that get filled with CBD working its way up, you're probably going to see a bounce right there at 87,218 would be my guess. And you got some volume in that area as well, if you can see that. Sorry, that's kind of dark. Let's see if I can fix that for you guys. I feel like we need some TradeFly colors in here. That's decent. There we go. I like that. I'm gonna mark that on my chart though. 87,213. 87.2. It's not that far away. I know it's usually the way I mark liquidity, but oh damn, it's 87,213 on the dot there. Let's put an alert on that. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm just gonna put an alert on this. I already got an alert on it, yeah. All right, I'm putting an alert on that because when it comes down, I want to see the reaction, right? My guess would be that we get a bounce when we interact with that level. Seeing that continuation of CBD working its way up. I mean, I know this is the 5 minute, but open interest will probably spike a little bit. Would be my guess. But I think you'll get a bounce off of that. If it comes down. All right, let's go back to the charts real quick here. Let's see where liquidity's at. Let's update the chart. Let me refresh the page. Let's go down to the 12-hour. All right, so you got some liquidity starting here at 88 to 88,450. $88,450. Let's go back to the chart. 88.2 right there. So that's where they had that sell. Interesting enough, it almost aligns perfectly. Initially, when they put that on the books, they put it right there where the bulk of the liquidity was. Where's this at? 87.9. And that's off the books there now. I'm tempted to stay on just to see what happens. Might even just set a small limit. I'm gonna crank up the tunes just a little bit. Do I think it's gonna take 88,250? I mean, right now, so there's not many people opening new orders right now, right? But the CVD, right, like the bias right now would tell you that there's more long positions open than short positions, right? The trend is very clearly going to the upside. So looking at the structure of the price action, right, you got that series of higher lows, higher highs. You're kind of pushing away from the volume as well. I mean, it's reasonable to say that it would. And you know you have liquidity up there. Right? Come back here, you know you got some liquidity. This is the 12-hour, so it's a little deceiving, but it starts at about 88,150 up to about 88,450. So you got that nice little node there. Come up there, take that off the books at least. I think that's an easy kill. But it's not something I would necessarily hang my hat on, right? Like this would be a little bit more enticing for me. Knowing, see, now that's off the books. Dude, somebody's playing games. That's crazy. Like you don't typically see that with the big orders. You see that a lot with the smaller ones. The one with like the 300, the 400, the 500. You definitely see it more so with that. I wonder if they're trying to just manipulate retail. Yeah, so I mean, as of right now, 88,250 would make sense, right? 88,250. I mean, even that actually still a little higher than. It's really, you're starting to form kind of a symmetrical pattern. But yeah, I guess I would say, like, just looking at it, the bias, when you zoom out, the bias would be looking to kind of continue to push to the upside. but you're right at the value area low, man. So like that's really tough. Honestly, like, so the way I would be looking at it is, if you're in it, you're probably in a position, it's probably what you're asking, would be my guess. But for me to trade around this, I'd be looking for it to push up, take that. It's like something has to happen before I'd be willing to to get in a position. And pushing up to about 88, 250, seeing a wick come down and reestablish below, right? We get a clear rejection, selling pressure, a very defined wick, probably on, the 15-minute. You go down to the lower time frames, seeing something very defined, stay back under the value area low. Then yeah, I'm looking at a potential short, right? Now, if you push up, you get a big push up, a big candle through the zone, then you're looking for that retest, and then I'm looking for a potential long over the value area low. So like, this is kind of like a line in the sand for me. And then also, like, knowing that, hey, you don't have a lot of volume in that area, like, you can get a pretty quick push up to the weekly pivot. But right now, it's struggling. It's struggling at the value area low. It's tough, to be honest. Let's look at the 15-minute. Trend says up. If you start seeing CVD push up a little bit more, setting some highs, I mean, that would be good. Look at this. So you come down here, right? Just to take a look-see. Like, look what happened once you got down here. Look at the crazy spike in open interest. This is interesting, though. I would say for me, this is not as logical, seeing the CBD continue to work its way down as price action has recovered. It's not a big move, though, either. That's a nice one. That got filled. So these are some things you should look at when you're looking at these order books, right? When these get filled. That didn't get filled, did it? I don't think it did. Dude, I feel like this is the same dude just trying, like, just keeps throwing it on. Like, he wants it to get filled. Look at that. And it's back. This is interesting. I'm gonna have to read up. I wonder, is that a dude, like a whale, or is that maybe an exchange playing games? And knowing that there's buy side pressure down here, does that drive the price up? Ugly price action, yeah. The small blocks are just algos. The ones that are specs are more than likely to spoof. Yeah, I mean, so the conversation that I was having with somebody said a lot of time the smaller ones, right? The 400, the 500 are likely to spoof, but the bigger ones were not. But because, like, you can see where these they get left on for a little while. But look, it's consistently 2K. This is the same person. Look at this. 2.3, 2.3, 2.29, 2.3, 2.3, 2.02, 2.3. This is the same person. Hands down. 100% same person or exchange. But it's yet to get filled. But so if we're taking something away from this, right? You think that's an exchange or an entity protecting price? Yeah, so I guess it's having the inverse effect, right? Every time they're putting these on, it's driving the price up. Or when it starts coming down, they just pull it off the books. It doesn't get filled. It's kind of crazy. So if this stays on, I guess our reasonable expectation, if that stays on, would be that price would go up once it comes down this way. Or they're just going to pull it off. Let's look at the daily degen real quick. I think you guys are in profit. Working its way down. That's cool. You know, one thing I want to do, because I haven't really played with this exchange all that much, I'm going to put a trailing stop on it. Just because I want to play around with it. Take profits. Or not. I'll have to mess with this later. I think it's fake for them to rip the longs when they expect to get bought up. I'm just trying to think of the psychology aspect of it that it would have on retail, right? Those got filled and it just dumped right through. So this one right here, that one's likely to stay. They've just left it on. Yeah, you're probably right. They are probably just trying to spoof because it's just one. Never really gets left on. Except these ones did. It's pretty consistent. And this one got left on for a minute. All right, Harp, take it easy, bro. It's more than likely spot. Let me see. Let me look at the... I don't know if it's going to mess anything up because I have everything on futures, I think. Let me... Oops. That was actually a star. BTC. Start that again. There we go. No. There it is. Start that. It's a good spot. Oh gosh. We got 200. I think this one was 600. Might be different, but spot looks a lot cleaner, that's for sure. I mean, you ain't got nothing to the top side. But CVD clearly working its way down. Man, the trend has just been nasty. When you zoom out on the 15-minute, look at the 4-hour, yeah. Look at the 4-hour, man. It looks duty booty, that's for sure. When you zoom out on the 4-hour, I mean, all the orders on the books are below for spot. It's all down here. Definitely be interested in this. Remember, I was talking about this a little bit earlier, that you got, you know, liquidity down here. There's no doubt about it. Below this swing low here. But you also have buy orders to support that on spot. Not a lot though. Honestly, like 359's, it's not much. But I mean, there's people buying all the way down. All the way down. But it's not big buys. This is definitely not big buys. Zero to 100 max for spot is what I use. Okay. I mean, I kind of like how clean this is, honestly. Really gives you a good idea of, I mean, if spot, there's going to be less, right, on spot. Like, it just shows you everything that's on the orders right there. Let me update it, though. It said 0 to 100. Close. Let's see. Heat map. Oh, that ain't gonna work. Let's do 50. And then let's do 200. Still see a bulk of the orders down here. I don't know. I think the CVD is telling the story though. Pressure still seems to be to the downside for now. Kind of get a little bit of a symmetrical triangle going on here. Don't y'all start with this bull pennant stuff either. But I mean, realistically, you pull back a little bit, you see just an ascending level kind of pushing into that area. I mean, that's kind of contradictory to what we're seeing on CBD right now. Still more buys means they're looking to load up, which means lower. I mean, it's tough, right? Because if I was just looking at this, I would say up. I was just looking at this, I would say up. But when I look at this, I say down. So we're really gonna have to keep an eye on where we're at. Kind of time now. Interacting with the value area low seems to be a really important point, and you can see the volume that's associated with it. And if you do break through, I mean, you're gonna get a nice move. There's no doubt about that if you break through. I think you just gotta wait. You gotta wait a little bit. Really, what it comes down to. It's one of those times where like you're on the line. You're literally on the line, and it's hard to formulate a bias when you're on the line. You gotta let something happen. Something's gotta give. Something's gotta push you in a direction right now. Because, like, interesting enough, right? Oscillators are saying, hey, starting to push up a little bit, right? Got that true 7 flash. Even though that move could be played out. We've seen a true 7 flash before. Obviously not play out. Did play out there, did not play out here. You got to push up and then all of a sudden down, right? You got to push up and then is it all of a sudden down, right? Because this looks very similar to this, even though it's in two different spots. True 7 flash, right into value area high, down. True 7 flash, right into the value area low. TBD. Very much TBD, but there's no way I could jump on anything right here, right now. So you got any? Say they had some stuff on spot they took off too. They didn't let those get filled. This one's consistent though. What's that at? 85 on spot. That's been there. It looks like someone's is totally cool with like, all right, I'll take some here, I'll take some here, I'll take some here. Fill the bags. Adjust this a little bit. That don't do nothing. Does, but I can't see it. Let me go 100. I'm on a Market Monkey terminal right now. They give you a lot for free, honestly. I mean, it doesn't... You can only go down to the 5 minute. That's as low as you can go time frame wise. But, I mean, you get the order book, heat map. You get VP, VR, CVD, open interest, on futures at least. And then you got the DOM as well as the order book itself. So, I mean, you get a lot with that. And honestly, you know, having CVD, open interest, and I would say just the heat map itself, you know, is probably good enough for government work. But I mean, it's totally usable. Obviously, if you're scalping, you want to get down to the, you know, the lower, even lower, probably down to the minute. But you know, I'm more of an intraday guy, right? So I got to kind of hang out and be like, all right, cool. Like, I know where the heat, you know, the liquidity is in terms of liquidations. I know where we have some orders on the book right now, you know, so then I would be looking in those areas for a reaction. If I get that reaction, you know, and I can see what I want with CVD kind of as confluence, open interest, you know, that's when I can, you know, likely take a position. It's like I start with TradingView. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's draw some lines in the sand, right? Let's find some areas with a little bit of conviction where we can see a price reaction, right? That's kind of the starting point. And then when it comes to the entry, like, am I going to take this trade or not? Then I'll just go over to the order book, jump on and be like, okay, what am I seeing right now? And that's just kind of a confirmation, you know, for me. It's a nice little setup, man, to have the two of them. See if I can actually break these apart. You can see both of them at the same time. Pull that to about halfway. Matter of fact, we'll bring this one over to the right. And then, oh yeah, because of the screen. Let me change that up for you guys real quick. I have no idea where the center point of my screen is. Can get rid of that. Let's bring that over. Give me 1 second. Show you what I use. There we go. And then let me update this. So share the actual screen. There you go. So this is a pretty decent way to set up some intraday stuff, right? This is, I mean, I have multiple screens. So like when I'm not live, I actually have two full screens to be able to look at. So one of them will be Market Monkey Terminal. The other one will be TradingView. And that way, you know, you can have your lines kind of pre-caged in terms of like, hey, I see the value area low. That's going to be an area of interest for me today, yada, yada, yada. And then, you know, you come over to Market Monkey Terminal, then you see kind of what's going on there. And then I'll switch back and forth, look at the liquidation heat map, and just, I'll have those all marked out. So the green right here that you see on the right of TradingView, that's where liquidity is. Now this one, don't pay attention to that because we were doing something different, but say like right here, right? We know 90K is a hot spot on the map. That's why I have that kind of pre-canned marked right around the weekly pivot. So, you know, right now we're at a spot where it's like, you know, like we could think about taking something, but you know, I don't think I really see enough right now besides CVD kind of driving down for me to take something. But when we get to the weekly pivot, like I'm really going to be interested in that, right? Because we know we have the liquidity there that's already waiting. We have the weekly pivot. We got this descending level of resistance. Like, you know, there's a very clear setup in my mind, right? And then you push back up into this high value area node, right? You got that gap. So there, like this for me would be way more better. And then you come out and you start looking at, you know, Market Monkey Terminal. Do we have some orders sitting on the books there too, right? You get a little confluence there. Is the CVD continuing to work its way down? Even though the price pushed up, is CVD still working its way down, right? And then what are you seeing over here on the DOM, right? Where are the bids and where are the asks, you know? And funny enough, what I noticed, and I didn't pick up on this when I first started using the software, is that you could start seeing, let's say we're looking at the weekly pivot, okay? So we're looking at the weekly pivot and we start to see some selling pressure coming in off the weekly pivot, right? You'll see the CVD nosedive, you might see open interest spike, but you could actually come over here and start seeing that there are still sells on the book underneath of the current price. And that was something I kind of failed to like really understand. So that was something for me to like pick up on. It's like, oh, okay, like there's still, like you can still see where they're trying to like push this thing down. So it's something for you to pay attention to as well. Like, cause right here, right? Like, so right, you're seeing price is at 87,682. So yeah, it's all pretty useful, man. Yeah, man, all good. Drive safe, homie. 88,250, go. Order book and CVD tells the story. Yeah, I buy that. Yeah, it's just one of those times, man. It's kind of boring. It's kind of boring. It's just like it's literally sitting on the line right now. We're like watching it, like make a move, make a move. Stop jinxing my stop loss. Sorry, man. Sorry. All right. I'm gonna get up off here. It's like we're right. Gosh, maybe not. It's got to make a move soon. Like it's got to. Something's got to give. Let me update this. Let's go back to the futures. Oh. Ugh. Settings go away. Yuck. It's alright. Oh, you know what? I think I thought I had 1,000 on here. I updated it to 1,000. There you go. What do we got? What do we got now? Any updates? So it's pretty consistent. Little sell side pressure there. About 270, 289 there. But this one keeps playing games at 2.3, man. But the consistent thing you're seeing is price seems to go in the opposite direction. And if it starts working down, they take it off. I'm officially on vacay. Well, enjoy your vacay, man. It is going to go up. Are you holding anything or are you trading? Squid gonna move the market. Which way you moving the market so I know which way to go, man? If you go long, I'm going short. If you go short, I'm going long. There you go. It's starting to push now. Open interest is just dying. I think we're out of tunes here. We have to reshuffle. And we're back. Let me I'm gonna crank up the music. Let me know if this is too loud. I'm not doing a lot of talking right now. The show itself is pretty much a wrap. We're just looking at seeing if we can take a trade. just hanging out at this point. I appreciate you, DDT. That would be dope. You follow any other traders? I believe you said you were former military, self-taught, right? Yeah. Yeah, dude. Alex O is a really good friend of mine. We talk outside of content stuff. Like, he's talking about coming out here to visit in March. So cool with him. I was on Piper Academy, so that's kind of, I had my own channel. Then I went to Piper Academy for about a year or so, maybe a year and a half. We grew quite a bit, and then I came back to my channel. It was time for me to spread my wings a little bit and do my own thing a little bit. Like if you know, like if you want to turn this into a full-time gig, you kind of gotta go on your own a little bit, unless you're with like a really big. Let's see, who else? Magic, Internet Money, Mim. Magic, I follow him, man. He's dude. He's pretty good. He's real good. I like his analysis. He's definitely more, you know, I'd say like from a more macro perspective, like swing trades. But he's really, really good. Smart dude. I'll check out Face here and there. Face is he's been really good to me. Like, we'll talk every once in a while, but he's a good dude. So I'll check him out as well. But he uses his indicator, right? He's just amazing with his own indicator. He knows it inside and out, like on a different level than anyone else. So like it's really hard for me to follow, you know, not follow, but I'll say execute what he does the way he does it, right? Like, he'll just come out of left field with stuff. He's like, oh, do you see this? And I'm just like, what? No. I don't know. No, it's not. It's just not the way my mind works. I seem to kind of attract more to like the smart money concepts and looking at horizontal levels of support and resistance and kind of tying that into price action. I'm really big on looking at where you have groups of price action, like Ethereum, right? That one was kind of an easy one for us. And my thought process is, let's get rid of that real quick. Looking at Ethereum, right? Like, this tells us a lot of what we need to know. This is a very clear level of support, right? Very clear level of resistance. And then it was supporting it, right? So the price action told us the story. And so we just wait for that interaction again. Obviously, there were some setups there for shorts. And then there was a setup here for a long. And so that's kind of how I trade. And that falls in line with my life too. Like, I do still have a 9 to 5. I work at night. I work from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. So like, this falls into my life, right? Because I can look for these prominent areas of support and resistance, you know, these clear horizontals where you have, you know, for Ethereum 20 to 2900. And then I kind of just sit back and wait for it. And it doesn't always make for great content. It's probably why, you know, a lot of people, I'm probably not going to grow all that much, but, you know, I usually give some pretty solid setups. But it's a patience game for me. Let me dominance real quick. Yeah, see, we've been watching this trend line. It's kind of scary, right? Because it's not what you want to see for alts, as it just honors this trend line on the way up. You would like to see it break and kind of lose this trend line. But yeah, man, it's, you know, I'm very, I'm not gonna say passive is the right word, but I'm very patient, and I'll wait for things to come to me. And that's kind of the difference, right? I'll draw a line in the sand and be like, hey, like, we got this line in the sand here. Val low, val high, whatever the case may be. And there could be some confluence with, you know, some Fibonacci retracement or Fib levels. Liquidity is really big for me, right? That's a lot of times the starting point, right? You want to know, where is the liquidity sitting? And when you know that, you know, that can help you formulate at least a bias, right? Because when you start really doing some research and kind of reading up and, you know, focusing in on people that do this professionally for a living, that's one of the biggest things that you'll hear over and over again is, where is the liquidity at? And, you know, again, if you don't listen to me too much, one of my biggest things is, you know, something that resonated with me was, hey, my entries are stop loss. And that like just like kind of flipped everything for me, because I started thinking about it and I was like, all right, cool. Like, as a newbie, you look at support, resistance, fib levels, right? And you'll get the reaction that you're expecting. Like, it'll bounce, but like it dipped under a level. I think the position just closed on a 2-bit there. Looks like price went up. So the daily digit goes poof. Anyways, so you're looking at this, right? And so right here, let's talk about this one a little bit. We'll open this back up. So right here, you could play this, right? And you're like, oh, cool. Like I won the game. But did you get out at the weekly pivot? Like, did you have that identified? And so a lot of people round trip this, like real talk, call it what it is, because they're going to go up to what? Probably the POC of the range. So they're playing the value area low up to the POC. They end up round tripping it, get stopped out. But what I like to do personally is I don't like to enter this until I know that there was liquidity taken off the table, right? So let's say there was liquidity here. Just put a box. There we go. All right, so you know stop losses, leverage long positions, cool. So this for me now becomes something that's executable because the liquidity got taken off the table, and then you got that buying pressure coming in. Obviously, you have to go down to lower time frames, right? 4 hours not going to really work. You'll be late to the party. But you see the buying pressure coming in. You got the liquidity off the table. You reestablish the range, which is the fixed range volume profile. And then I'm looking to execute a long position. But I'm pretty conservative typically with my exits, right? Like, you know, if I'm looking at something from a horizontal perspective, I see the weekly pivot that's being honored, both support and resistance, right? Very clear. Let's circle these just so you can see it, what I'm talking about. All right, so you got the weekly pivot. You see where there's very clear support. Resistance. Support. It's kind of playing around there, but support. And then see this candle right here? That candle is a really good indication that this is actually a pretty important level. And you get confirmation of that. You get confirmation of that when it comes back up for the retest. And then boom, an aggressive move to the downside. All right, so that aggressive move to the downside, even obviously that wasn't there, but it's further confirmation. But right here, this impulsive move to the downside with both support and resistance kind of wrapped around the weekly pivot would have been a very clear exit for me, right? Like, hey, like liquidity's off the table, check. Reestablish the range, check. But a lot of times what people will do is they will set their orders here, and you'll see further movement to the downside, right? And really what it's doing a lot of times is just taking liquidity off the table. So let's see here. This is probably not the best example, but you'll see it a lot if you actually just do some back testing and zoom out a little bit. People just have a limit order right here, right? That's the normie way of getting into a trade. It's just, I'm gonna put a limit order at the value area low. What they're not waiting for is the liquidity to be swept or taken off the table. And the other thing is too, like with this candle coming down, like we have the benefit of hindsight seeing this, but let's think about when it's right here. If you think about where it's at right here and you're looking at it and you're evaluating, the concern is, do we see that push down, right? Do we see that push down continuation? And that changes the whole narrative. If the candle looks like this, coming through this zone, it changes the whole narrative. And then that's a very clear sign that that's not something you should take. But if you just put a limit order here, you don't have the opportunity really to evaluate that. Your limit order will get, filled, and you're in the position. You don't have an opportunity to evaluate whether you're going to see that continuation to the downside or not, and you could get stopped out. Right? So if you put your stop, let's say down here, well, let's say you put it right here. Let's say you just did an ultra tight stop loss. Like it's not the best example because usually, you'll see more of an extension of the wick, but here nor there. Let's just say that you put a limit order here, you put a really tight stop loss because you looked at this one. Let's say you put your stop loss where that wick is. Just humor me for that. So what happens is, okay, let's say it comes down, you get stopped out, and this is what you see a lot, or happen a lot, is you'll see that continuation, or not the continuation, but you'll see it go in the direction that you initially thought. And all it's doing is coming out and getting that liquidity. So I just wait. I wait for that liquidity to get taken off the table first. And then I will take a position. Now the issue with that, it's a lot harder to get in to like limit orders. It's a lot harder to get into positions because you're not there to evaluate the price action. And that kind of in lies the issue for me, having a day job, right? So it's a little harder for me to get into positions because I want to see the reaction. So I want to see that liquidity taken off the table, but then I also want to see the buying pressure come in. I want to see the confirmation that, this is an opportunity where we could see some of that upside or upside potential, right? So that's kind of the way I work. But yeah, that was a weird stray off from asking me about other traders. Other traders, I mean, we got HRJ in the Discord, we got FJ in the Discord, Squid in the Discord. Everybody's got their own way of doing things. Let's see, who else? Piper. Piper's really good with the macro, if you're familiar with Army Piper. Really good with macro, man. He's really good. He takes good swing trades. He has a plan in and a plan out, so I respect that. Trying to think. I don't know, man. That's mostly who I personally pay attention to. Alex is great. Like I said, it's scalping. Me and him are completely different beasts when it comes to trading, though. So I watch a little bit of Frankie, here and there as well. Just he has a similar like he loves like saying like, hey, SFP's around like value high, value low, right? It's really big for him that he talks about a lot on his channel, and that would fall in line, right? Because that's what's happening, right? When you see a swing failure pattern, a lot of times what's happening is it's grabbing liquidity, and then you see that pressure come in, creating that wick. Swing failure pattern is what it looks like, and then you'll see that continuation of price action in the opposite direction. So there's some alignment there, I'll say, with him, but I don't hang to the fixed range buying profiles as much. Yeah, I'll put them up here and there. Everyone kind of has a different way of doing it. Like Magic, he likes to do time-based Fibonacci retracement levels, where I like to do, the range itself. So if I have a range right here, very clear range in my mind, I will do a fixed range buying profile around the range, that area that it's consolidating in. And not do time-based. Some people do them daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. They've got a POC for everything. That doesn't fit what I do, and when I say that, that's because I have a 9-to-5. So that's why, like, I've kind of tailored back the YouTube, right? Because I found myself repeating myself over and over again because I'm looking for, bigger setups, more higher confluence, high probability setups. And so I only have to go live a couple times a week because we're kind of waiting for those areas to get tapped, right? So if we're waiting for those areas to get tapped, weekly pivot in this case, that could take some time. It could take a couple days. Dusty Hunt, what up, man? FJ in the house. Face has been getting crushed in the market lately. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I haven't been watching him, honestly. So I have no idea why it keeps. All right, there we go. That's how I heard about you. Heard of Piper Academy from around the blockchain back in the day. Thank you. I feel that way with some traders. Tough to see things the way others do. Yeah, man. Absolutely, dude. Like, everyone's got their own way of doing things. Everyone. You know, like, and when you find something that works for you, you know, I would say develop your strategy around that. But, you know, it takes time. Like for me, you know, that's when my hit rate went up. When I really focused on liquidity and seeing those, you know, liquidity sweeps or, you know, grabbing liquidity, whatever phrase that people want to use, SFPs, you know, there's all ways to kind of word it. But once I turned my trading to revolve around that, I mean, the hit rate, like I maintained a 76% hit rate over a 1 year period. And I mean, it's not a like, you know, I'm not trying to like self flex, but that's just what changed the game for me personally. And I became a lot more smart with my risk management. And so you'll hear me talk about that a lot. Like it's a little bit different, right? Like I go into the mindset a lot of be like, hey, okay, cool. Like I can't get a 2-to-1 out of that. You know, like it's probably not even worth my time. It's not even worth like trying, because if it's not high probability, you know, you don't have a lot of confluence and you don't have a high probability of getting that 2-to-1, you know, like why waste your time on it? Like, it's just, you're kind of like taking a chance. So, you know, 2-to-1's typically a minimum. I'll mess with maybe like a 1.8, 1.9 just to, it's close enough for government work. But a lot of times, like I'm looking for that 2-to-1 at a minimum. And so something like this is an area that, yeah, I'm really I'm gonna lock on at about 90K. Like that for me, you know, if we get the right reaction off of that weekly pivot, having that descending level of resistance, the liquidity, a nice horizontal level, all in one spot, then that really opens up the door for me, especially if you see that wick up, you know, because you know you got some liquidity right here. You know you do, right? And then it's on the heat map too. Now, I know people like, some people like it, some people hate it. I really don't care. I mean, we know we got liquidity sitting there, right? This is aggregated, obviously. So, but there you go. Pretty hot around there. And it aligns, right? Like, think about it logically. Area of resistance, you know you got stop losses, you know you got leverage short positions. Like, you know it. You don't have to really look at the map. Let me refresh it because I know it's behind me right now. Sorry. It does this weird janky thing. I don't know why it just goes behind me. But there you go. So you can see it right there. But like, look here. And so what you'll start to see is this is just confluence. You can look on the chart, right? You can look on the chart right here. This is the same thing, right? This is a 4 hour. That's why it looks a little different. Like if we take it to the hourly, now it looks the same, right? There you go. So now it looks the same. Like, we know for a fact that people are putting their stop losses right above, and they're taking leverage positions that will get liquidated right above that area. And so that's, again, that goes back to, hey, my entries are stop loss thing, right? So we just wait. And you see a high volume area node on the hourly, right? So you should have a nice push up or a quick push up. If we break this value area low, get back into the range, we should have a quick push up to this area. And this is where we start to evaluate, you know, looking for a trade. Now, if we get a breakout retest, you know, that could be a nice little continuation trade, low capital, you know, I'd say low leverage, right? You're not going to be as excited about it, but you'll definitely take a continuation trade up. But right here, this is where we start saying, hey, this could be an opportunity. And we just evaluate. And then again, you can go back to, damn, did I take it? Did I close it? I must have closed it. Anyways, you can go back to Market Monkey Terminal. Oh no, it's behind it, that's right. And then you can see, hey, is there any orders on the books? Right? Like, you go to 90K, once it gets up there, right now it's ain't much to talk about. But once it starts working its way up there, do you see some orders come on the books? You know, do they start putting a lot of orders up here at 90K? You know, and that could just add some confluence to what you're looking at there. Right now, nothing really to talk about, but that could change here. Easily, that could change over the next 24 hours, right? So, I mean, it's showing you too, high volume area. I wouldn't be surprised to see some orders come on the books there at 90K. And then what's CBD doing? Come down to CBD, see that continuing its way down, especially on the 4 hour. This is ugly as hell. And you get that push up, like that's ripe. CBD continues down. You get a push up, price action wise, coming into a high volume area, and then you do see orders come on the books there. Then that's ripe, I would say, for looking for a potential short. But we just gotta wait for it. I buy high and sell. All right, EDT, take it easy, bro. Much love to you, man. Yeah, Jesse, I mean, everybody tries to do liquidity on TradingView, but what you need to understand about TradingView is that it's using the price action and volume. So it's an assumption. It's taking those two things. Like it can only derive from the chart. So it cannot actually pull data from the exchanges or outside entities. So that's something you got to understand about the liquidity. No liquidity. Like if it's market liquidity, it's doing what I just said. Like it's looking right here, right? You see the resistance? It's I guarantee you, it's gonna say liquidity's here because that's an easy thing to figure out, right? You got the volume here, right? The price action shows you that there should be liquidity here, but it's not actually being pulled from the exchange, right? So it's not necessarily truly accurate data. Does that make sense? That's why I have to always go away from TradingView to start looking at where liquidity is. Because I could do that. I mean, I can just, we'll go to the chart. We are on the chart. Like I would look at this right here and I'd be like, okay, cool. Liquidity's got to be probably right here, right? Right in that area. That's where I would say liquidity is. Without having that there. Like I can tell you there's liquidity sitting right there. Don't need the chart necessarily, but it's a nice bit of confluence. So anyways. All right, well, price action's being boring as hell. I was hoping for it to do something, but sitting here for too long, almost like 2 hours now, so it hasn't really done much. Of course, as soon as I get off, it probably will do something, but I got a life. I got some things to do. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As always, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Come on over to the Discord. We're going to be changing it up here. I did announce officially that I will be starting to turn everything over in terms of taking the premium way. So the way that'll work once I get it set up is that if you guys join through an affiliate link, that'll give you access. And the only thing I'll ask is, hey, like trade with me a little bit. And that's pretty much it. That's the way that, you know, I'll try to make a couple bucks. But the $250 that we're getting from the premium Discord, it's just the juice is not worth the squeeze. I think I've pushed more people away than brought into the fold. Let's just have a community of traders, and you know, we'll do it that way. So the days, you know, a couple days a week, I'll try to jump onto the Discord. Maybe we'll do some live trading, do some sessions there. Usually it's pretty collaborative. I let everybody speak, so unless it gets too weird. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys over there. With that, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have a great day, and we will see you again on Thursday. With that being said, as always, trade safe, be safe. I'm out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.